As I said earlier in the week, I was going to be sharing some of my hottest takes in Call of Duty Zombies history. This is going to include every game from World at War to Cold War, and it will include all Treyarch and non-Treyarch Call of Duties. Keep in mind that these are my subjective opinions and may differ from yours, so don't get upset if I say something you completely disagree with. Also, if you guys have any differentiating or contrasting opinions down in the comment section below, let me know, as well as share your most controversial and hottest takes on Call of Duty Zombies that you guys have within the franchise. I have a lot of strongly opinionated takes on Call of Duty Zombies, so don't see this as an attack if I'm specifically saying Cold War for X, Y, and Z reason is bad, and if you like it, this is why. Don't take that this is why as offensive or as an attack. I'm just sharing what I genuinely think, and if I'm right, let me know if I'm right, and if I'm wrong, let me know if I'm wrong. And let's try to keep it calm in the comment section this time and not try and attack each other just like what happened in the multiplayer video. Remember, not everyone is going to like or dislike the same things that you do, so because we're all human, we all have different tastes. But first, before we get into my hot takes, today's video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends, the dark fantasy turn-based RPG game that we all know and love. I've played it, you've played it, and if you haven't played it, you're going to download it in the description right now to join me and raid. We all know Raid Shadow Legends. There's 25 million users and 1 million daily active players that are playing the game every day, and one is including this guy. It's a console RPG experience in your hands, on your phone, or on PC, iOS, or Android. The best part is you can play your way, when, and where you want it. Now, you guys might be asking, what am I using in the game? Personally, I'm using Septimus from the faction of the Bannerlords, and this guy is so strong. He has an average of 5-star in the majority of the dungeons and hits harder than anything I have used in the game to date. And not only that, but there is other champions, so if you don't like Septimus, and if you don't want to be the absolute champion of the game, there's so many others to pick from. Raid just released an insane amount of new content and new things to do. First up, they're releasing 11 amazing new champions and have also released almost 200 brand new missions to complete with an exclusive legendary champion as your reward if you manage to finish them all. And if that's not enough, they've added up to 5 tough new levels in almost every single dungeon in the game. And that's an incredible amount to add in just 1 month, and there's always more coming down the pipeline. So what are you guys waiting for? Click on my link in the description, download Raid today, and it also supports the channel at the same time. And once you're in, you can find me in the game under Technically Wild, so what are you waiting for? Click the link into the description. Now, back to the video. Another huge shout out to Raid for sponsoring this video and supporting this channel. There's lots of things to come in the future and some big plans, so their help is much appreciated. Anyway, let's get into my hottest takes on COD Zombies. As basic of an experience as Outbreak is within Cold War, I genuinely enjoy Outbreak way more than the standard zombies in Die Maschine and Firebase Z, which is saying a lot because I definitely prefer any round-based Easter egg-based game mode over Outbreak, but for Cold War's sake, I would rather play Outbreak than the standard round-based zombies. Transit and Die Rise are really fun maps and actually not as bad as everyone makes them out to be. People just hate them because they would rather rely on an overpowered wonder weapons to survive and get easy high rounds, and also people just never learn to play the map playstyles like the avoiding lava on Transit or jumping up and down the skyscrapers without dying on Die Rise. World at War Zombies has aged extremely poorly. Now, the maps have been remastered in quite a few CODs, but if you go back to play World at War Zombies, it's not a good experience. Sure, World at War had modded maps at one point, but what does Black Ops 3 have? Way better modded maps with modded perks and lots of other cool mods within that game. What about the World at War maps? Well, they have been remastered not only in Black Ops 1, but in Chronicles as well. So if you're going to play World at War Zombies, you might as well just play Chronicles. And everything in World at War Zombies, Black Ops 1 and Zombies Chronicles and Black Ops 3 does it 10 times better. Some of the least liked Call of Duty Zombies experiences within the franchise include Black Ops 4, World War II, and Infinite Warfare. But I find all three of these mostly disliked games more enjoyable than Cold War War, and if it weren't for the current Call of Duty being Cold War, I would much rather go back and play these zombies rather than grinding XP or getting Dark Ether for DLC weapons. People who like Cold War zombies more than any other zombies game mode in the franchise either are brand new to zombies, suck at every other zombies and don't like how intricate and complex some of the older zombies are, or are just simply grinding the Dark Ether camo because it's a free mastery camo that looks like Black Ops 3's Dark Matter camo from multiplayer. Within Black Ops 4 Zombies, there was two storylines, the Chaos Crew and the Ether Crew. The Chaos storyline in Black Ops 4 was actually way more interesting and way better than what the Ether story was. And the Chaos story had the potential to be better than the Ether story if in Black Ops 4 the Ether story was continued, and if it saw proper development, a normal DLC cycle rather than splitting it half and half between Ether and Chaos, as well as a few more years of development on the story. The Chaos story was actually turning out to be really interesting, involving tons of gods from different mythologies and introducing Medusa and including real-world historical events. If you think about it, if the Chaos story continued, we could have seen some incredible things that happened in the zombie storyline. And if you think about any really interesting historical things that have happened, we could have seen the Chaos storyline go there and be involved in that. And with the introduction of all the mythologies within the Chaos story, it was pretty much turning out to be a crossover event between a Percy Jackson type film and just the standard Call of Duty's formula that we've grown to know and love today. So if you're like me and really enjoyed that Greek mythology and even just other Roman mythology, Celtic mythology, all the mythologies that have been thrown into the Chaos story, if you're fascinated by those and already really enjoy the Call of Duty Zombies game mode, then the Chaos story could have turned out to be incredible. And it was more of a linear story rather than a multiverse story. So if you found the Ether story too convoluted and too complex, the Chaos story would have been right up your alley. Staying with the theme of Black Ops 4 Zombies, the Black Ops 4 perk system was actually quite enjoyable and actually well thought through. I would have made some changes to it, like having the perk system only be within the Chaos story and then keep the Ether story with the OG perk system where there's perk machines and you could only get those perks from the perk machines and you couldn't pick which perk spawned where and all that type of stuff. But the new perk system fit really well with the Chaos storyline, and I can't see the OG perk system that we see within Cold War, Black Ops 3, and anything previous working within the Chaos storyline. And I think the Pick 4 system fit the theme of the mythology and the god statues perfectly. Plus, it was also nice to not rely on the same crutch perks until you got Perkaholic every time you played zombies. You could switch it up because there was almost 20 plus perks within that game, and a lot of them were super strong and overpowered. Sure, Dying Wish might have been the only crutch perk, or Victorious Tortoise if you used the riot shields constantly on every map, but if you wanted to switch up your playstyle, there was hundreds of perk combinations to do so. Zetsubo no Shima, in my opinion, is better than Ryzen, as Ryzen is a Origins 2.0 with less exciting wonder weapons and less exciting higher rounds than Origins. Now, Ryzen does have a better Easter egg quest than Origins, but other than that, I like Origins way better, and comparing Zetsubo to Ryzen, I prefer Zetsubo on every level of the spectrum. Even when Zetsubo came out and lots of people disliked it and were saying, wow, out of all the great things we've seen in Black Ops 3 so far, this isn't it. When Zetsubo launched, I loved it. I loved the atmosphere. I loved that it was a much more difficult map. I loved the Easter egg. I loved everything about it. And to this day, I still would rather play Zetsubo than Ryzen. Even the ZNS Easter egg. Out of all of the non-Treyarch Call of Duty zombie games, World War II is my favorite and the best by far. Now keep in mind, that's my subjective opinion. I know there's lots of people that don't like World War II because it fit the more hardcore players' style of gameplay in the first place. So if you were just a casual zombies player and didn't eat, sleep, play zombies, then World War II wasn't going to be for you. And comparing it to Advanced Warfare and Infinite Warfare, Advanced Warfare was just too lackluster and almost just filler content for that game, and it just wasn't exciting overall. And then Infinite Warfare was too goofy, but for an extremely dedicated hardcore zombie player, which I was at the time, World War II was my favorite non-Treyarch experience. Even though Moon is my favorite map of all time within the zombies storyline, I think Shadows of Evil is the best map ever made overall. Out of all the maps that Treyarch has ever made, it stands out as the most complex and the most developed, and you can see it. There is so many different things to do on the map. There's 20 plus Easter eggs minus the main quest in there, as well as there's so much stuff to do, so much to upgrade, and you can do high rounds in multiple areas of the map, and there's not just one singular place where high rounds are good. If you like to camp, there's spots to camp. If you like to train, there's spots to train. I just think it's overall the best map that Treyarch has ever released and the best map that Zombies has ever seen. Cold War, as a Zombies experience, is the worst game to date, tied with Advanced Warfare, for both of their lack of content and lack of longevity and replayability. If you have completed Dark Ether Camo and you've done the Easter egg on D Machina and Firebase Z, there is no reason for you to be playing Cold War Zombies. If you want a fun round-based experience with friends, you can just go play older games and have a much better experience there than on Cold War. Not to mention, we only have 2 maps on Cold War that don't have a lot of complexity to them. They're just super simple cookie-cutter Zombies maps. And in a live stream, Treyarch said that the next Zombies map isn't coming till the end of June, which is normally where we would see the start of DLC 3 and all that stuff, so we will have 2 maps in the DLC cycle by the time we would have had 3 for every other Call of Duty. Even one of the most diehard Zombies supporters, Mr. Tulexify, said Cold War is dying and is bad overall. In his PPSH Season 3 Round 100 video, he goes on a little rant talking about how Cold War just isn't a fun Zombies experience anymore. It was fun for the first few weeks, but just ended up not being that interesting overall. Right now, if you don't have your seatbelts on, you better put them on, because this is about to make the whole Zombies community angry. The most overrated maps in Zombies history is Origins and Mob of the Dead. While they are both top 10 maps easily if you were to rank every single Zombies maps in existence, I think they are very much overrated. Other than a difficult Easter egg and fun wonder weapons, Origins doesn't have a lot to offer. If you boil it down, Origins isn't a super exciting map, but it's because of all the Easter egg steps and staff upgrading quests that you can do. That's what makes Origins such a fun map. As well as while speedrunning the map, you can always find something to improve upon with Origins. To this day, the Origins Easter egg has not been found to have a specific strategy to complete the Easter egg from start to finish as fast as possible, and everyone running the same strategy, because there are so much variables within the map, which keeps it interesting. And for Mob of the Dead, it's pretty much a cinematic movie within the map. It has such a cool atmosphere, an incredible map layout, and a great Easter egg, but other than that, there's not much to it as well. Now, it has a great atmosphere, and high rounds are fun running in the cafeteria, but you have high rounds in the cafeteria, a few mini Easter eggs like the Golden Spork, which are pretty good, and by no means am I calling Origins and Mob of the Dead bad right now, because they are great maps. I just think they're way too overrated. But other than doing the Easter egg on Mob of the Dead and the great atmosphere, that's pretty much it, and that's what makes it a great map. But people talk about Origins and Mob of the Dead way greater than what there actually is to offer, and if you compare the actual maps and what they have to offer versus what people that are super fanboys of those maps say, and you actually compare them, the maps aren't as good as everyone makes them seem. Now, they are great maps and top 10 maps of Call of Duty, top 5, honestly, but still, I think they are very much overrated for what they offer as a Zombies experience. And this is going to be, once again, it's fitting with the theme of the Mob of the Dead maps. Blood of the Dead is a better round experience and has a better Easter egg finale. However, Mob of the Dead has a better Easter egg quest. Doing the Mob of the Dead Easter egg quest, super fun, but the payout and what happens at the very end of the game as the resolution to the Easter egg isn't all that exciting, while Blood of the Dead has a great end Easter egg with, I would say, the most tear-jerking cutscene, and if you've been neck deep in the zombie story since God knows when, probably the most emotional cutscene that we've ever seen. And at the end of the Easter egg, we were left sitting there saying, what next? But Blood of the Dead also has a better round-based experience. If I was going to do high rounds on Blood of the Dead or Mob of the Dead, I would pick Blood of the Dead, even though it's on Black Ops 4. I just like the mechanics of Black Ops 4 high rounds better than the Black Ops 2 high rounds when it comes to a Mob of the Dead, Blood of the Dead head-to-head competition. I would just rather spend my time on Blood of the Dead rather than Mob of the Dead, unless I'm doing an Easter egg, which is where I would rather do it on Mob of the Dead. And for now, that is going to be my hottest takes on Call of Duty Zombies. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Leave a like if you guys did, dislike if you didn't. There is no hard feelings. Remember to comment any of your own hottest takes on Call of Duty Zombies, and it can just be something super simple too. If you disagree with something the majority of people say, let me know in the comment section down below. Anyway, I'm about to head out, and if there is one, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.